Hello. Welcome back to Kimbology, freaks and geeks. Welcome. It is episode 7, siete, nung song sao si ha hok, jet. Jet is 7 in Thai, so I'm just going to continue on my Thai counting lessons for you guys. Hi, everyone. Hi. It's another great day to do a podcast. Thank you so much for listening in. Today I wanted to have a podcast about solo traveling as a woman. I got super inspired recently because I had some really awesome conversations on Facebook groups. I'm a part of a Facebook group called Girls Love Travel. And it has like 1.1 million women on there, and it's amazing. Like, it's super uplifting. Women just kind of give each other tips and inspire each other, and it's great. It's awesome. And then I also found like a Black solo female travel group on Facebook. Thank you. And yeah, it was great. I was like, this is awesome. So it's just like a platform to just kind of share tips and, you know, all sorts of fucking shit for traveling. And I've had multiple people in the past, but recently too, ask me about just like tips and stuff about solo travel. And so, yeah, I was like, you know what, I need to do a podcast on it because there are things that, you know, if you are interested in traveling around the world solo, there are some things that I think would be good to know before you're going to get started with that, especially as a woman. I mean, obviously right now with everything that's going on with COVID and things, it's not really a thing. Traveling around the world is not happening, but it can, you know, during this time, you can prepare for when, and save your ducats, save your money, save that coinage, because this is a good time, you know, especially if you're still working. Like, if you actually are lucky enough to have a job at this time, and you're getting money and you're, you know, obviously not going out as much and spending money, like, save it all up. And when the opportunity arises and when we can travel again and it's safe, boom, you'll be ready to fucking go. So yes, for that. Before we dive into that deeply, I just wanted to just have a little petty rant. So I'm just going to start this petty peeve. I don't know if this is going to be like a regular thing on my show, but I just had to get this off my chest, okay? So I don't know if you guys know, but I am a pole dancer, and I've been dancing for like 7 years now. And I've taken a hiatus, so I don't do it anymore. I used to teach. I was an instructor for pole dancing as well, 7 years. And I just wanted to just kind of, I don't have like what's the word? Like, I don't have it in me right now to teach in that sense. So I'm taking this time to work on me, focus on myself, going back to being a student. So I started taking a heels class again, and it's so nice to just kind of sit back and be a student and, you know, learn from, you know, and it's crazy because it's like I have to like unlearn things, like things that I've been doing so much on the pole and dancing in heels with a balance and everything. It's different, you know? So it's really nice that I'm getting to like do that again. And I was feeling really, really good. And then boom, the petty starts. So like, all right, I'm not going to name names or anything, but shout out to you. You know who you are. I do not appreciate coming at me and treating me like a child, right? I understand fully that there's a pandemic going on, right? I get it. All right. I fucking get it. I've been quarantined in my house 90% of the time because of it. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, there's a class that I take and the instructor, it is his class, you know what I mean? So he is pretty much like, y'all are grown. I don't have to babysit y'all. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel safe in here, you don't have to be there, or you can wear your mask the entire time in class. I'm not your mom. You do you. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I took it in my own, you know, I'm like, you know what, I'm grown, you know, I know what I'm doing, being here, taking this class, not, you know, I chose not to wear a mask, right? And I'm dancing and I'm posting my video. And I felt really good dancing again. It's been such a long time. And, you know, was really nervous, you know, like, you know, a dance class, dance setting is kind of an intimidating, you know, setting. You know, there's a lot of amazing dancers in the room, but it's all business, right? You go in there, you're not there to make friends. You go into your space, you stretch out and you learn the choreo. You're in your own little space. You're there to learn, right? And I like that because it's like, now it's like, okay, I want to focus. I want to just work on me. You know what I mean? And yeah, someone that I love very much reached out to me and was like, hey, I saw your video, but yeah, can you wear your mask in class? Mind you, not in my class, didn't go ever to the person's class at all. And I was like, I don't even want to start anything in this, because this person is very knowledgeable with what's going on in the pandemic. But like, I'm like, listen, I didn't say this, but I said, thanks. And that's it, cut it, like, whatever. I don't have time to do this, but it definitely bothered me, and it's like, I'm a grown 31-year-old woman. Okay. And I'm respecting the class. I'm respecting the teacher and saying, like, if he wants me to wear the mask, 1,000%. When I go to stores, when I'm in, places, I'm wearing the mask. I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am abiding by the rules. I'm not ignorant to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, I'm 31. Don't come at me when I'm very happy to post this video, because I'm just like, oh my God, I feel really good about it, dancing again. I was really super excited. And it totally just was like, like, literally, like, I was like, wow. I can't even post anything on my own social media and be proud of it before I get any stigma and like scrutinizing, to like what I'm doing on my own page and what I'm doing my own time. Like, I'm grown. I'm a grown ass woman. If I want to do that, if I want to go in there and I want to, dance and not wear a mask, that's up to me. Okay. So don't come at me and tell me what to do. And I'm done with that. Okay. That's all I wanted to get off my chest. I'm like, I have this platform. I'm going to be a little petty and do my petty rant because it makes me feel better. Because you girls using this as therapy as well. So, yeah. So, if you don't like it, don't look at my shit. Simple as that. So, I'm done with that. Because we do have lots of fun things to talk about. So, let's go ahead and dive into our weekly segment. And that is Sexy Sustainability. So yeah, last week or so, I did host like a very, a small little gathering with some close friends, and we, did like a movie drive-in night. Like I had, like, we have a projection, whatever device that we project the movies out on our garage, and I had some close friends over, and we had a little mini party. You know what I'm saying? So not very many people at all. You know what I'm saying? But really cute, outdoors. You know what I'm saying? So everyone brought food, but I wanted to talk about this because, I don't want to hear the excuse of like, well, I didn't see it. It doesn't exist. Because I'm like, no, guys, we can make better choices, right? So, obviously you need utensils, napkins, things like that. Well, my partner went out and got us some, utensils for our party. And he made the awesome decision it was at CVS too, out of all places. Like, my fucking CVS is like my favorite place in the world. I love CVS. Ask, anyone that really knows me. Like, I stand for the, football length receipt that you get at CVS. That's me. I'm like, yes, the longer the receipt, the better. The savings, let the savings move on. Yes. Like, I know it's annoying sitting there waiting for that receipt to come out, but I like love it. So that's just me. Because I love coupons. Your bitch loves coupons. So CVS is the shit. I'm always coming out of there with like a whole fucking cart full of shit, and I pay like $10. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But anyways, they had biodegradable utensils there, which is amazing. I got really excited because he made the really awesome conscious choice to purchase that instead of the plastic ones, which are not biodegradable and are harming the planet, right? So I'm just saying this, that for those of you out there that are, deciding to like host gatherings and parties and things like that, please, please, please make a conscious decision. These biodegradable items, anything you see, because that is contributing to reducing your carbon footprint. And it's also showing the people out there that, the consume, the people, the higher ups, the people that own, these CVSs, the people that own CVSs and these stores, that if people are buying these items, then we need to stock more of these items. You know what I mean? So when I see that, like, I get really excited and I buy those. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember at Walmart, I saw the biodegradable bags. There was the hefty bags right next to it that are plastic, but then right next to it, there these biodegradable bags. And yes, maybe they cost more, but you know what? I bought those because if I'm showing, Sam Walton and his evil ass that, that I'm a consumer and I want to buy biodegradable things, then he's going to put them more in these places. And that's what we need to do to protect our planet, guys, because it's really bad. Like, we don't have much time before this earth is just going to be trash and we're not going to survive this. So do what you can. I just wanted to kind of put that little note out there. Whenever you see biodegradable items like utensils, what have you, cups, things like that, bags, trash bags, you know what I mean? They make a huge difference. Buy them, please. I know they might be a little bit extra, but you can do it because you're saving the planet. Okay? Yeah, so that was my sexy sustainability, guys. Just a little tidbit for you guys. Yeah, so moving right along. But before we do that, I'm just going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
And we are back. Oh my God, let's go and dive into the recycle. Let's recycle these news, guys, because I am on a high. I watched the Rihanna Savage Fenty fashion show on Amazon Prime, and it was sickening boots, okay? If you guys didn't know, Rihanna has a lingerie line that she owns called Savage Fenty, and it is sexy shit. It's hot. I love it. I have some bras and panties and things like that, bodysuits and things. But she throws these amazing fashion shows every year to promote, her line. And they're not really fashion shows. They're kind of like, it's like if a fashion show and a music video and a concert, and a movie and a film had a baby. It was so beautiful. This year was a little different though because of COVID. There wasn't any fashion week, so to speak, because the crowds and things. Because normally she's at New York and Fashion Week, and there's a crowd, there's an audience and things that are clapping and everything for the show. This time around, it was recorded. It was in this huge warehouse space, and she had these different stage setups, and then all the dancers and models and things like that all kind of went through these little platforms. It was fucking phenomenal. First of all, Rihanna, this is so much better than the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Fuck the Victoria's Secret fashion show. I'm so happy that it's not happening anymore, because that gave women, young girls and young teens and whatever have you, the false impression that these women, that women are supposed to look like these models, these Victoria's Secret models. They were, I am not going to lie. I loved the Victoria's Secret models when they first would come out. I would look forward to them. And then you don't realize, you're ingraining this, okay, well, women are supposed to look like this. It's no, and it's Victoria's Secret, who's buying your shit? It's not these fucking supermodels. It's regular ass bitches with real bodies that are buying your stuff, so cater to them, So, they basically said they stopped doing them. And then I think Rihanna did her Fenty fashion show one year. And I think then from that, because Rihanna was super inclusive and had big women on there, all ages, all sizes, pregnant bitches. She had trans women on there, super inclusive. And I think that Victoria's Secret was just well, fuck, we can't come out with our basic bitch, same white skinny models walking down the runway type shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's, what I mean? Mix it the fuck up, And you know what? It was sickening. It was amazing. I can't get over it, She had, first of all, she has Paris, who's this amazing choreographer from New Zealand. I think she's Samoan. She's so beautiful, but she's this thicker, Samoan, Kiwi. Kiwis are what they call people that live in New Zealand. And she choreographed her whole shit, and it was so good. And she's a little thicker herself, and she had this solo in the beginning she was just dancing real sexy. All of these bitches are wearing lingerie. There's men, there's women. It's just super inclusive. It's the inclusivity with this fashion show was just beyond what people can imagine, And it was just so creative. The music was beautiful. The music was on point. She had guest stars like Paris Hilton and Bella Hadid and Willow Smith, and she had Big Sean, I believe. Yeah, Big Sean was singing and then or rapping or whatever. And then she had Rosalia, who's a fucking sickening Latina artist. She had, I think, Bad Bunny too, and who he's kind of he's a very I love him because he's so weird, which she stands for. She stands for weird. So, I stand for that too. And she had a few more guests. I can't think of it right now off the bat, but amazing. She had trans women on. She had India Moore from Pose. It was just so inclusive. Oh, she had Lizzo on there. Big bitches, small bitches, white bitches, Asian bitches, all fucking sizes. And everyone looked sexy. Everyone was so sexy in everything they were wearing. I don't get it. It's this whole false pretense of skinny and tall and the whole model-esque body is sought after. I'm really? Like 90% of the world of women don't look like that. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, women have thighs, women have stomachs, you know, women have those flappy things under our underarms, whatever the fucking things are called, you know? Like, that's just cellulite, stretch marks, you know? Like, we're human beings. Like, and I really appreciated how when you watch the fashion show too, like, you could literally see, like, it was very clear. Like, you could tell, like, the videographer, like, it wasn't filtered. Like, you could see, like, all the stretch marks and all the, like, blemishes and pimples on these women and men. And, like, it was just really real. And they didn't hide anything, which I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like, finally, there's, like, real shit that I can see out there, you know? It's like, and Rihanna looked sickening. The bitch is thick. You can tell she's eating good. She's fucking smoking her weed. She's not doing her coke no more, getting her all skinny. Because she says, fuck what y'all think of me. Because, you know, back when, like, you know, Umbrella Ella days, that bitch was thin as fuck. But, you know, that bitch was, you know, doing coke and all sorts of fucking shit to stay skinny. But now she's like, she's smoking her weed. She's fucking, you know, this is all allegedly, guys. Oh my God, don't come for me, Rihanna. I love you. Yeah. Like, I don't know for a fact she does coke. I just, you know, come on, you know, it's Hollywood. But, yeah, I mean, like, she's smoking her weed. She's eating because she's an auntie. She's in her 30s. I'm in my 30s. You know what I mean? Like, I have fully, like, now I'm, like, embracing my auntie-ism. Like, I know I got thighs now. I've always had an ass, but your bitch has got thighs now. Okay, there's friction between these thighs. It ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay fit and healthy, and obviously all that shit. But yeah, but your girl's thick. And you know what Rihanna is too? And she's fucking celebrating it. She's celebrating women and men that look like that. And it's, like, not a horrible thing. It's, like, not the end of the world. We can just be who we are, guys. Like, and I love her for that. So I was on a fucking high. I watched that. It debuted October 12th. And you can watch it on Amazon Prime. I hate Amazon, but, you know, that's the only platform it's, you know, on. But I don't pay for Amazon Prime. Like, I just, you know, use my brother's login. So shout out to you, bro. Thank you for letting me use it. So yeah, definitely check it out. It is amazing. The fashion show is just sickening. So yeah, that was just a little bit of the recycle with that. Also, I hate mentioning this fucking Cheeto of a fucking asshole. Your president, meaning not mine, because he's not my fucking president. President Cheeto is just announced that he has COVID. He has COVID-19, and so does Melania Trump. And you know what? I don't know. It sucks because it's like people are saying, like, they're speculating that, like, oh, you know, he's just saying that because he doesn't want to do debates anymore. Because that debate, if y'all didn't tune in, I didn't really I saw, like, the highlights or whatever because your girl was dancing. But yeah, it was just a fucking shit show. You know, like, I can't believe this is the state of our country. Like, I literally can't believe it. But yeah, he announced, like, that he has tested positive. So he's quarantining. Him and, you know, Melania are in quarantine now, and who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what that means? I don't know if this is a ploy. It's just fucking ironic. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker was the one that was like, no, this is just this, you know, this isn't a thing, and, you know, could have fucking saved millions, you know, or thousands of lives if he fucking just, you know, did what he needed to do in the beginning. But of course, you know, he's just blaming Chinese people. And I hate that he keeps calling it the China virus. Like, nigga, what? Fuck him, man. Fuck, man. We cannot have him be our president again, please. Fuck him. God. So I was excited to hear that he got it because I was like, ha, you know, God is good. Look at God. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, I don't know. Who knows if, you know, if he's planning, you know, something around this too, you know, it's like, if it was like, well, okay, well, let me just make a way of getting out of this. Let me just say I have coronavirus. That way I don't have to do these debates, or, you know, maybe he's using it as a way to, like, swoop into the next election. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Politics, it just makes me so tired, but, I'm trying to stay up to date as possible. Cause obviously, like, I know it's a problem that the younger generations are not paying attention and not really voting and not really hearing you know, what's going on in the politics and things like that. And it's something that I'm trying to be more conscious of and trying to pay more attention of, you know, and it's tough because all that shit is fucking confusing, you know? I mean, we still haven't passed a fucking bill for a new stimulus, you know, check. I believe the House passed something that, you know, this, like, something $1 trillion, you know, bill that they passed it, but then it's not going to get past the Senate because it's mostly Republicans. So I heard that was in the works. who the fuck knows at this point? Honestly, it's exhausting that they are still arguing over this. Like, really? Nothing has changed. The economy is still shit. The virus is still out there. We don't have a vaccine. Get it together. You know what I mean? Anyways, I don't want to talk too much more about that because it just fucking drives my blood pressure up, okay? And your girl's getting older. All right, I don't want to do all that. So, yeah, I just wanted to briefly just kind of talk about that. Oh my God. And I did see that poor, I mean, you guys, I stand so hard for Chrissy Teigen and John Legend and their family. They're the most beautiful family ever. You know, Chrissy Teigen has a Thai mama just like me. She's half Thai. I'm half Thai. You know, John Legend is very talented and a great, beautiful man that like has this beautiful family. I stand for Luna. I love Miles. They're the cutest kids in the world. And she announced not too long ago that she had a miscarriage. She was pregnant. She had a miscarriage. She had her baby Jack. Yeah, they already named the baby and everything. Super, super sad. I know, because I was like super excited because I'm telling you, I stand for this family. Like, their family is so cute. Those babies are adorable. So, yeah, I follow like her mom too, like her Thai mom and stuff. I stand for them. Like, I love them. And it's unfortunate that she did have a miscarriage. And Jack is now in heaven. So rest in peace, Jack. Like, I'm sorry the world couldn't meet you. And, you know, I just, you know, all my prayers and thoughts go into that family. So, yeah, super sad. So, I just wanted to kind of give that a little bit of a, you know, little love. So that made me really sad to hear that. So, yeah. What else? You know what? That's kind of really what I wanted to just dive into with the recycling of the news. Because I did want to kind of just dive into, I do have lots of really fun things to talk about when it comes to solo traveling as a woman, because it's something that I did for years and I was super passionate about. So let's go ahead and get started with that. But before we do that, let's go ahead into a break and we will be right back.
Kimbology. Kimbology. Kimbology.
And we are back. Hello, everyone. Okay, let's talk solo traveling. Let's do it. Super, super excited to talk about this, guys. I'm very passionate about this. I did this for many, many years. And I learned a lot about myself as just the person who I am by just getting out there, going on a plane ride and just landing on a fucking, you know, country I've never been to before, don't speak the language, and just really just embracing the culture. And it just makes you just really opens you up to being your true self. You have no one else to rely on but you. You learn so much about yourself, and it just makes you a more confident and strong woman, in my opinion. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, I got inspiration from my wonderful women travelers that are on these Facebook group pages. And also, I did see this really awesome article that Travelnoire came out with. I love Travelnoire. Travelnoire is basically it's like a blog / website or whatever that you can follow, and it's all built around like black travelers, mostly women though, because the woman that ran it, she's a black traveler. She's solo traveled for years and things like that. So she started this company, and they have articles all the time. And just this article kind of just was like, oh, perfect. I came across this, and this was something I wanted to talk about anyway. So the article was 25 tips for solo women travelers to stay safe while having a blast. So I'll leave that in the show notes as well. And I just kind of wanted to go through what they thought, but also put my own insight on it too, because I can I can either say, yes, this worked for me, or no. Yeah, so just kind of a little insight on that. Also, one big thing I did do, which I'm trying to debate if I should do a whole episode about, I don't know if I have enough content yet, figure it out, is pole surfing. So what I did was, I'm a pole dancer, and what I did a lot was when I was traveling around the world as a solo woman, I would always go to a pole dance studio in each of those countries, and would just take classes there and train there. And I got to meet a lot of beautiful women, a lot of beautiful people, learn a lot of awesome tricks, and, basically how I got to be who I was, and train and instruct other people and other students. And, I got to learn that it built me. It built who I was as a pole dancer and instructor. And so Yeah, I went to all the different countries. So that's on my blog post too on kimbology.com. If you're interested in like, if you are a pole dancer and you're listening in, I do have some tips on like certain pole studios I visited in different countries, and just also just some tidbits on like the specific studios and stuff. So if you're interested, if not, whatever, it's all good. So yeah, that's just something I did as well. But yeah, let's just go ahead. I wanted to talk about this article. First thing in the article was pack light. That was number one, was pack light. Yeah. So when I did backpacking, I did have a North Face, I believe it was like 60 milliliter backpack, orange backpack from North Face. That's what I packed. That's what I traveled with everywhere. I also ended up buying during my travels, a blue, smaller backpack in Singapore, and that was what I was carrying on my chest. So, yeah, I have a photo that I posted on Girls Love Travel, and that's what got all this, like, there was like 5,000 women that were commenting, and, you know, I opened this conversation up from my picture of me, because I got back from my travels, and that was like me, skinny as fuck, young as fuck, just wearing this backpack in the front, and just happy that I just saw the world and just was so elated. So, yeah, I mean, keep in mind when you guys are solo backpacking or solo traveling in general, or, you know, traveling in general, you're going to want to buy shit, guys. You're going to want to pick up stuff. You're going to want to, you know, you don't want to carry all that, you know, like it's not good to pack too much while you're starting your trip, because then you're going to fucking end up leaving things. What I ended up doing was leaving items in certain places. Like, so I would like backpack in hostels. I ended up leaving bras and shirts and things I would buy, things that I really didn't care about, or along the way that was like, you know what, I can leave this here and I can just buy this. And yeah, I ended up leaving a lot of stuff in random countries because I was like, well, I don't want to carry this shit, you know? In Japan, when I went to Japan, I ended up buying a suitcase out there because it's fucking Japan. Like, come on, you're going to want to buy shit. It's Japan. They have the coolest shit in the planet. So I ended up buying a suitcase out there. And I don't know what it is about Japanese things, but like the quality of the stuff you buy in Japan is just so much better than the States. Their suitcase, to this day, I still have. It's amazing. And then I also would buy my water bottles out there for some reason. I don't know why. The quality of their water bottles, they're like canteen reusable water bottles, just way better than America too. They last. I think the last time when I first went backpacking, I bought a water bottle out there and it lasted me like 4 years, believe it or not. And then I went back again to visit my friend and bought another one, and I still have it now. I'm still using it now. So, and yeah, it's been like at least another 4 years, I think, too. So it's great. Like the quality of these fucking items are just, they make up for it. So like, I know I'm not, you don't have to go to Japan to buy these things. I'm just giving you little tidbits. So, yeah, the suitcase is great too. The quality with that it's lasted so much better than the shit I buy here. So just a little, note for that. So yeah, number 1 was pack light. 2 was be vague. So I guess in the article they were saying like be vague with like kind of, what do they mean? Be vague. I don't fucking know what they mean by that. I don't know what that means. Anyways, I think it was just kind of like, don't really be too specific on like where you're going. Like tell people where you're at and shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, let's be real, guys. It's like when you're traveling by yourself, you're not gonna like, use your head. Don't be telling people, oh, I'm staying right here and I'm by myself. Like, don't tell that to random strangers. Like, use your head, okay? It says be vague. And then number 3 was research your destination. I didn't do that. I literally didn't do that. Most of the time I would go to these places and not even know anything about the country I was going to, and just go on a whim, and I kind of went on the best adventures of my life doing that. So, I mean, now, mind you, there were some times where me not researching my destination really fucked me over. In fact, just recently when we went to Arizona, I wanted to visit a lot of these places, but it turns out they're owned by Native Americans, and there's like a lottery system to go to these places. For example, the Wave, right? The Wave is in Utah, and it's this like, if you Google it or put it into Instagram and like hashtag the Wave, you'll see it's like these really beautiful rock formations that they make these really amazing like rock formation, like whatever. Your photos would be sickening. Well, in order to go there, you have to apply for a lottery. And like, not everyone can just go there, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of like that they do that, because then like, you know how it is. You know, when you go to a fucking, you know, touristy spot, it's so packed. You can't get a photo, you know, really well. It just sucks. You know what I mean? So then basically they do this lottery system, you know, obviously to, I think to make money too, but also keep it where they can regulate how many people are going in and keep the land safe and preserve their culture. But your girl didn't research that beforehand, so I couldn't go to a lot of places. Antelope Canyon was closed because of COVID, but that's another place that I was trying to go to, but they don't actually have a lottery, but it is really busy there. It's like packed booths. So yeah, good luck getting a photo there. Certain places though, I was like, fuck, I can't go because I didn't do the research. So in a sense, if you do go to some places and you're like, you really want to see something specific, like a certain, you know, the wave or whatever like that, then yeah, research that, because then there might be some things. And also, one thing that does help is if you look, like when you're traveling to countries, like some of these countries you need visas for. You can't just like go and expect to get in the country. So you might have to get visas ahead of time for your passport. So do that research as well. Like for example, I think India, like you need to like send in your passport and everything. I think that's what my friend told me she did. I didn't go to India. I haven't gone to India yet. It's on my bucket list, but you know, COVID. So yeah, but that's one place that I know that like you have to go and send in your passport and wait for it to come back. But yeah, most places, I mean, you got to research, you know, and it also depends on what passport you have. For example, I'm a dual citizen. I have 2 passports. I have my U.S. passport and I have my Thai passport. So when I'm in Asia, I don't use my U.S. passport. I use my Asian passport. I use my Thai passport, because then I don't have to pay the visas in those Asian countries. So yeah. But when I'm, you know, going to places like Japan, like other places, not Japan, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to like, you know, places, you know, all the states and, you know, Mexico, things like that. Like it's better to use your US passport, because then you know, you have more clearance for things. So it depends. So just research your visas and things like that. So yeah, that was number 3. Number 4 is arrive in the morning. With this, I think they basically just said, you know, like if you get in the morning, you can get to your hotel. You don't have to worry about, you know, being in the dark, trying to find places, you know, as a solo woman traveling by yourself, you know, you just should be cautious of that. I do, you know, I would try to arrive in the morning, but sometimes I would get in cheap flights or I would get in cheap transport, like I would do buses and things like that, and I would arrive at night. So, I mean, to be safer, yes, ideally you would want to arrive in the AM, but sometimes that's not the case when you're backpacking. But yeah, I mean, it like, I do remember like getting to places. I remember like, I think it was in like London. I got to like my hostel, like really late, like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. And like, yeah, I think they like, I don't know. I think I really had a hard time with like finding it at first. And then I was really scared because I think their front desk closed at a certain time. So yeah, you got to make sure that's also something. So like if you are going to arrive late, make sure you call your hotel or your hostel ahead of time. If they have 24-hour concierge service, then you're good. But if they don't, like say they, you know, close their front desk reception at like 8 or 9, and if you arrive after the fact, you know, and you didn't tell them, well, you're fucked. You're not going to get into your hotel or your hostel. You know what I mean? So just do that research, you know? Let's see. It says, have an open mind. Yeah. I mean, of course, you know, I feel like if you're a woman traveling by yourself, I feel like you're going to already be like super open-minded with culture and people and things like that. So that goes without saying. Let's see. 6, network with other women travelers. Yeah. I mean, that's great. I just met this amazing girl, Toya, and she's like been traveling backpacking for 3 years. And she was another Black traveler that I met through this, the woman, Girls Love Travel. And she's super cool. I'm going to actually have her on a podcast so we can just like pick each other's brains, because she's really cool and we're just getting to know each other here. But I just kind of just like, you know, let me network with her. You know, she seems like really interesting. So she's from Florida, this Black woman. So I was like, I love to see other Black women traveling. So it makes me happy. So yeah, you can use Facebook as a good source to network with other travelers, the group pages, you know. Also, that was another, like, because I'm a pole dancer. When I was pole surfing around the world, I would meet other pole dancers around the world. And I went on this page like it was couch surfing for pole dancers. And that's actually how I ended up staying with some people. I ended up staying with pole dancers in like Portugal, France, and in Australia. And yeah, I stayed for free. They let me like sleep on their couch or on the floor or extra bed or whatever have you. Super awesome. So, and they were the sweetest women ever, like so safe. I didn't feel uncomfortable because they, they were also pole dancers. So I would reach out to them like, hey, I would actually just like post in that group page, like, hey, I'm traveling in from Chicago, I need a place to stay, is anybody out there? And yeah, sometimes they would hit me up and say yes, sometimes no. So, but I was lucky enough to have some really, really amazing experiences with that. So definitely reach out to other travelers. So you'd be surprised who you meet. So, also Amsterdam. I forgot about the homegirl in Amsterdam. She was super cool. Super, super cool. She let me stay with her. So that was really cool. Yeah, shout out to you, girl. I think her name was Anouk. She was really cool. What else do we got here? Number 7, keep your documents secure. Yes, this was definitely something that, a tidbit that I actually learned just from like travel blogs and things like that. What you need to do, what you should do if you're traveling for a long period of time, is take all really important documents like your passport, your credit cards, birth certificate, things like that. Make copies of those. And what you're going to want to do is make copies of those, and you're going to want to leave those copies somewhere safe here in the U.S. To make sure that, in case anything happens, you get stuck out of the country or whatever have you, someone from back home has your documents that you can prove that you live there and things like that. In case you lose your passport, you know what I'm saying? Most places will accept a photo or things like that just because they see that it's real and it's you. Like, okay, if you just misplaced it, like they'll accept those credit cards, and things like that. And yeah, I would actually, what would I do? So I left copies of those here in the States, and then I would have a copy on me as well. And I would put that in like one part of my backpack, like kind of hiding in the back part. And then I had my passports like on me or something like that. I think that's like the best way to go about it. It's tough because usually they say don't hold your passports on you in case someone tries to rob you. So, play with, what I mean? Like there's some people that are like, no, you should have it on you. No, people are going to try to steal shit from your room. I mean, I did hostels, so I didn't want, like I shared rooms when I was backpacking as a solo traveler. So I didn't really want my important documents like out laying around. So, what I would do is carry them on me. And then I had those physical copies that I've, scanned. I would keep those in my backpack in case, I did get them robbed. So I at least had the copies of those. So yeah, so keep that in mind. That was a nice, really important tip that I learned. So, let's see, unplug. Oh yeah. So, I mean, when you're out and about, you're by yourself, you know what I'm saying? So just like enjoy where you're at, like be in the moment. I did, when I was traveling, I did do a lot of like Snapchat. That was my shit. When I was solo backpack traveling, I would Snapchat everything, and sometimes, you just got to like get off the social media, realize where you're at and just take it in. I do remember this when I was in Bali and I was at this beautiful resort in Bali, and I remember it like I went outside. They had this like pool and this like canopy little like cabana area, and I was by myself and I just went outside, and I remember just like it started raining. And it was the most beautiful moment. I remember sitting there in the rain, in the canopy, in the little cabana by myself. And I literally just like looked around me and was like, I cannot fucking believe I'm sitting here right now in Bali, like with this rain falling and this like, the rice fields right next to me. There's like, this is incredible. Like, this is a moment. Like, I can't believe I'm here. You know what I mean? And I was by myself and I just like turned off everything and just took it all in. So to this day, I remember that moment. It was just so special. So yeah, definitely unplug sometimes, guys. You don't need to be on social media all the time or, whatever. One thing that I always would do is I would always have my headphones on because I'd be listening to like music or mostly podcasts. Like podcasts were my shit when I was traveling the world. So that kept me in tune to what was going on back in the States. So I loved it. So yeah, that's one, suggestion. What's up? What next? Number 9, support locals. Fuck yeah, guys. Always buy from the locals. You know what I'm saying? If this really pisses me off, like, cause now I'm back home in the States and like, I'll go to these like hippy dippy, like, trade shows and things like that. Meditation ones and whatever have you. And it really annoys me when I see like white people fucking selling like Tibetan, items or like gongs and like things that are clearly from other countries that they bought really, really fucking cheap. And they came here to the States and they rent a booth and and they do these little fucking workshop or these like 3-day, what do you call it? Yeah, workshop place, whatever. They put up a little store and they sell all these things for 3-4 times as much, knowing damn well that they fucking paid super cheap for it. And on top of that, they haggled and bargained the price down from the locals. So that fucking pisses me off. You guys, fair trade, please buy things fair trade. Fair trade, fair trade. So when you are traveling the world and you're by yourself, yeah, always please buy locally. And if you could stay away from buying those souvenir-y shits from the airport, I get it. Sometimes you just, oh, fuck, I forgot, I need to buy a magnet or some shit like that. I've done it too. And then I got to buy it from the airport, whatever. But do what you can. Try to like buy from the locals. Make sure you're giving the money to the people that are actually like working really hard, because most of the time that's how they make a living. You literally, tourism is their life source and they really rely on it, So if you're not buying it, like they're not feeding their kids. So definitely try to do that. So yeah, that's a big one. Number 10, dress accordingly. Yes. Please be respectful. For example, when you're going to Thailand and you have to go into these temples, you guys, you can't be in your fucking, booty shorts with your titties all hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Like, be respectful. This is not America. You know what I mean? And, like, so many times, like, there's like, when you go to the temples, like, they have, it happens so much where they actually give you now, like, they'll give you like a longji or like a wrap around your, like a skirt that you can wrap around your waist, because it's disrespectful. Like, you can't go in a temple when you're just like when you're half naked, and your titties are out. Mostly they want women to have their arms covered and their legs covered. So ideally, if you want to for me, rule of thumb, solo traveling, I would always have, let's see, for clothing items, things that you're always gonna need, right? You're always gonna need hiking boots, hiking shoes, right? A pair of good sneakers, because you're walking around a fuck ton. Flip-flops or sandals, of course. You're gonna need a tank top, regular tank top, white or black, whatever have you. You're gonna need a sweater, hoodie. It doesn't matter if you're going to like the hottest place in the world. You just never know. Bring a fucking sweater, hoodie, jeans, long pants, yoga pants, whatever have you. Shorts, of course, whatever. Jacket. I would always bring a jacket, a light jacket. My favorite thing to travel with is my Uniqlo little puffer jacket. It's like, it's a really thin goose down jacket, like a zip up jacket with a hood, but it actually is so thin and light that you can ball it up and it fits in this little pouch. And I hang that on the back of my backpack and I travel with it everywhere I go. And it's super warm too. Like, honestly, like, if I can tell you how many times that jacket has saved my life when I didn't know I would be somewhere and it was freezing, saved my life, So, Uniqlo I stand for Uniqlo. They have the best gear. They have the best, quality clothes. Your girl's thick in the pants. So obviously, like, the wear in between my thighs, like, it's great for that. So, love Uniqlo for that. So I usually get all my shit from Uniqlo, like good quality stuff, but, that's essential, I feel like, because you're always going to need that, right? What else? Bras, panties, socks, duh. What else? Yeah. If you want to get cute and bring like bathing suits, if you're going someplace where there's beaches and things. What else is really important? Well, that's like really clothing. I'm trying to think of like some other things that were really useful to have was, especially when backpacking in hostels, was a lock. Like a regular gym locker, because most times you go to hostels, they have those lockers that you can put your things in, and you don't want to always rent a lock, and some places don't even have that. So just bring your own lock. That was really, really helpful. A lot of places I went to when I was in hostels was a lock. So definitely bring that. Your girl had a knife, because your girl does not play. My backpack was way too big for to bring on the plane anyways. I would always check my backpack. So your girl had a knife, a switchblade and I kept it in the backpack, in like the back part of the backpack, in the back pouch. Cause you never fucking know. So I had a knife on me. Let's see. What else did I bring? Water bottle. Always bring your water bottle. Always, 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 so that we can refill your water wherever you go, especially because you walk around the place. A fanny pack is life. I love a fanny pack. I have this really awesome fanny pack that is a fanny pack, but also can change into a backpack, like a little small little like backpack. So in case, I would go someplace and like just walk around, and then like there's like a little shop that I wanted to like stop and buy things. And in case things were like super cool that I really wanted to pick up, and I didn't have the space, I can change into a backpack. That way I had the space for it. So that was really a really great, helpful item to have on you. Let me think. What else was really helpful? I can't think of anything at the moment. Oh, another tidbit that I did pick up that was really useful. Not really, really useful, but like it was smart to have on me in case. And I picked this up again from just like blogs and things like that. Was having a false wallet. So, false wallet, what does that mean? It means that, have a wallet, a real wallet, whatever, one that you don't care if it does get stolen. Have that and put some money in there. I mean, when I say money, like put in like $2, some old credit card, some old, like maybe like Target card, like whatever cards, like if you have those like membership cards, put that in there. Make it look like it's a real wallet, right? A lot of the times I would, put like foreign money in it because foreign money is a lot less than, American money. So I would put a couple baht in there. Baht is the Thai baht. Baht is the Thai currency. So I would put a few bahts in there. I would put some, a couple dollars, make it look like it was a real wallet. And I would carry that on me. And in case somebody did come up to me and say, give me your wallet, instead of giving them your real wallet with your money and your passports and everything in it, you would give them that. And then, they only got a couple dollars off you and some fake credit cards or fake membership cards or whatever the fuck, and a wallet you don't really give a shit about. So that was really smart that I did pick up as well. So it didn't come in here. I mean, I never had to give it to anybody, thank God. But I did love that I always had it in case. So keep that in mind when you're by yourself traveling as a woman. Have a false wallet. It does save you that peace of mind. And another good tip is that my real wallet I would keep on me like close, like I would tuck it in my like pants, and there's like it had like a strap. So I would wrap it around my body like a fanny pack, and it was close to my body, and I would tuck it inside my pants. So that way, like I said, if someone tries to rob you, your false wallet is just like in your backpack or something. You take that, you give it to them, but your real wallet is on you at all times. So that's another good tidbit that I learned. So, and then obviously you can kind of look all these up. There's like so many different types, and also just go with what's comfortable for you. Some of these like really fun items, like there's like, I know there's like secret wallets and belts. Like you have a belt, but it actually has a zipper and it's a wallet too, or like you could put money in there and things like that. There are so many fucking really smart items out there, guys. Just do the research, look around, like it's really cool. So definitely utilize that stuff. So yeah, that's it. What else? Let's see. Number 11, learn the language. Yeah, I mean, it always helps to know a little bit of, when you're traveling to a different country. The most things to know is like, ask the normal shit, like hi, bye. How do you find the bathroom? How much is this? That's something that you definitely need to learn. Because when you shop, you need to know how much, like ask people like, oh, one thing that was so great and very useful that I would have on my phone was the Google Translate app. So a lot of the times I would type in what I needed to say in English, and it would read it back in the language that I needed to, communicate with. So that was nice. So definitely think about downloading the Google Translate app or any sort of translate app on your phone. That way, in case you do need to kind of like communicate with a local or something like that, or find a specific restaurant or a place, your hotel, your hostel, you have that in mind. So, but it's always good to learn some of the local languages, right? I know some of the languages can be really tough. One that was super hard for me in particular was Japanese. That shit was hard. I mean, even like right now, like arigato gozaimasu, like that whole like thank you very much, yeah, it's Japanese. That's really all I knew. I was just like arigato and what was the one? How to say hi? Oh my God. See how bad my Japanese is, guys? It's fucking awful. I know some Thai. I know Thai. I can give you Thai. Thai, you know, if you go to Thailand, sawadee ka, and you put your hands in front of you and bow, like with your head down, like you put your hands like you're praying. Sawadee ka is the ka is what women would say. If you were a man, you would say sawadee krup. So the masculine pronoun or whatever for that is krup. Women is ka. So always knowing sawadee ka and sawadee krup is like standard. Like definitely know those. If you go to Thailand, you can add, you know, you can say thank you. Oh my God! Wow! Brain fart! Wow! Why can't I think about thank you? I'm trash. I can't think right now. You guys, I'm sorry. Trash. I know how to say where's the bathroom? Hongnam yutinai. So your hongnam is the bathroom. Hongnam, and then yutinai is like where is it? You know, where's the bathroom? Hongnam yutinai. And again, you know, other languages and then American languages is like everything's backwards. So where is the bathroom is translated in English. Bathroom, where is it? So whatever. All right. I don't want to embarrass myself and show you guys that I really am rusty with my Thai. So I'm going to stop right there. I know Spanish though, you know what I'm saying? You know, baño. Where's baño? Baño. Wow. I can't even. Anyways, I'm moving on. I suck at languages. Okay. So what's the next one? Let's see. Savor your drinks, but don't get drunk. Oh, well, your girl got drunk. I was like, I had some nights where I got fucked up and shouldn't have, because definitely you guys, one story that particular, I think I was in Prague when I got really drunk. Okay, I was staying in a hostel. I was by myself. I was in Prague. I was in Prague, which is Czech Republic, or it used to be Czechoslovakia. Now it's Czech Republic. Yeah, I remember I was at a hostel, right? And I met these dudes, you know, like they were staying in the same room as me. Like, you know, I stayed in a co-ed room, and they were from like Norway. So these giant ass, tall, white boys. And, you know, they're like, hey, you want to go out? You want to go to the bar? Whatever. We're all going to go out to drink. And I was like, sure, let's go, you know? And we were in the same room, you know? So they were these big dudes, you know, I felt kind of strong. I felt kind of confident, like traveling with them. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went out with them, got fucked up because we went to these like bars, we went bar hopping and had fun. And I got fucked up and literally ended up like this one guy from like New Jersey. I remember this fucking guy. He's kind of cute, but this fucking guy from Jersey was like, you know, trying to go home with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like on me the whole time or whatever. And then I was with those guys, the ones in my room the whole time. But then I remember like, I vaguely, because I was fucked up. At one point, I remember like they ended up like going and doing like going off on their own, or or this guy got me away from them. And I was like dancing with this guy, and I looked around, I was like, oh, I'm alone with this fucking guy, you know? I was like, fuck, you know? So I stay with him, I'm dancing, whatever. And then like those guys in my room like leave me. Can't find them anymore, right? And I'm with this fucking Jersey dude. We're dancing. He's like, we're going, you know, he's trying to take me home, you know? And I'm just fucked up. And I remember like he gets me in this like taxi, and I'm in the taxi car. And I remember at one point I like woke up in the middle of going to his place, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in this taxi with him alone. I'm going to this guy's house. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I was like, fuck this. I remember we stopped the taxi. I forgot what I said or whatever, or I forgot what happened exactly, but we stopped the taxi, and I remember getting out of the taxi and walking. And just walk in the middle of the night by myself. And the guy was just like behind me, you know, he was just kind of like, hey, where are you going? Like, hey, you know, what are you doing? You know, and I just kept walking. I was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I got to get away from this guy because I don't want to go home with him, you know? And I remember that was a horrible thing because I was by myself. It was probably like 1 or 2 in the morning or whatever, or even later than that, I think. And I remember I had my phone, and I would Google Maps is life whenever you're traveling by yourself, ladies. Google Maps is the shit. Don't use Apple Maps, it's trash. But Google Maps Google Maps is the shit, and it's pretty accurate all around the world. So you knowing the street names and knowing where to go and stuff. So I remember putting in like to find the like what do you call it? The train. I like put in the train because I wanted to see if I can take the train back to my hostel. And I remember putting the train in and walking to the train station, just leaving that guy by himself. I just walked away from him, right? And I go to the train and I'm standing there and I'm waiting and waiting. It's dark. There's like no trains. There's a couple of seedy people like kind of staring at me, and I'm just like, I stay. I'm like looking for the trains. I'm like, I don't see any trains, and I'm just like realizing I'm like, it's late. Like there's no more trains, So I'm just like, fuck. Like I don't exactly know how far away from my hostel I am. I'm by myself, fear starts kicking in, and then boom, I'm just like, you know what? I wonder if Uber works here. I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me just see if Uber works here. My phone was working. I had my phone working. You know what I'm saying? For one thing that was really smart that I would always do is I had multiple battery packs on me at all times. So whenever one would die, I would have like 2 or 3 more in case that one died. So your girl always had power, because I was like, I'm never going to be stranded without my phone, because my phone is my safe haven. I need to know exactly where I'm going. I need to contact people at all times, So I remember on a whim, I just got upstairs to the train station area, and I just call and I look up Uber, and boom, Uber works. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. I type in Uber, I call an Uber to pick me up from where I was at and to take me to the hostel, and boom, the Uber picked me up and took me home back to the hotel or the hostel. Right? Oh my God. I was really lucky, guys, because that train was starting to look really seedy. There was bums kind of showing up and staring at me because I'm like this young Black girl. I just went out to club and by myself. There was no other people around there really, but these really seedy people. So I got really lucky because I was like, man, if Uber didn't work in that country, which some countries it doesn't. Uber doesn't work everywhere in the world, especially the time I went. This was in 2015, I believe, 2016. Or 2015. Yeah, 2015. Uber doesn't work everywhere. It might have been 2012. I don't forget. Anyways, whatever. I can't exactly the date when I went. But anyways, at that time, Uber wasn't everywhere in the world, So I was like, I wouldn't always just think of Uber. I would always think of the public trans of the country to get around, or taxis and things like that. But I just tried on a whim. Uber worked. I got home. Thank God. I totally yelled at those kids. I was like, hey, where the fuck did you guys go? When I went back to my room, they were like, oh, we didn't know where you went. You left us. Da, da, da. I was totally mad. I was like, what the fuck? You guys are supposed to be staying with me and watching me, So whatever. So that's my little story for that. Yeah, just be careful. Don't be don't get too fucked up, guys. Cause then you won't know where to go, and you'll be just kind of at the whim of some random guy from Jersey. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. So number 13 is go with your gut. Go with your gut. Yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. Just our woman's intuition is a thing. Definitely go with your gut, guys. If something doesn't feel right, or if somebody's seedy or shifty, things like that, just, go with your gut. It's usually right. So, number 14, check in with your family and friends. Oh yeah, for sure. Always let them know where you're going. Social media was my safe haven at that time, because for me, what I would do is because I was traveling alone by myself, I would check in a lot at places and to let people know where I was at, mainly, So basically, people overseas always knew. I would always check in with my sister and family back at home. My mom didn't always know. My mom and dad didn't always know what I was doing because obviously I didn't want them to know that I was just risking it all and being in these places by myself. But my sister always knew. Shout out to her. Shout out to Sukuna. Love you, Kuni. What else? Yeah. So yeah, definitely check in with your family and friends. Oh yeah. I remember one time that Cuba, when I went to Cuba, back when we could go to Cuba, Cuba doesn't have any internet. Yeah, guys. When you go to Cuba, you are off the motherfucking grid. They may have changed things now. Back when I went, you had to get this internet card. You had to buy an internet card to get internet or some shit. And even then, I would buy it and I would try to log in and it never would work. So I never had, the whole time I was in Cuba, I think I was in Cuba for a week, 4 days to a week or something like that. And my sister was freaking out because she didn't know if I was okay or not. And she was just so scared. I felt so bad because I was when I got to Cuba. So funny story. It was my birthday. I forgot what year I was birthday it was, but it's a few years back. And we went to the strip club before on my birthday and we got fucked up. It was me and the girls, po girls. We were getting fucked up. We were partying. And then the next day I had to go on a plane and go to Cuba. So my sister dropped me off at the airport to Cuba. And like, I was fucked up at the airport. I had no idea. I was like, I got on a plane ride and went to Cuba. And when I was so drunk that when I got to Cuba, I was still fucking drunk. That's how fucked up I was. It was crazy. I don't recommend it, guys. So she was worried boots for me because like she knew I was drunk. And then I think like, I forgot what it was. I think I like, I was freaking out when I was at the airport. I was like, I can't find my wallet. I can't find my credit cards. I did have it with me, but she was like so scared for me. She's like, girl, do you have your stuff? And I was like, yeah, I found it. I think my flight went to like Dallas, and then she texted me in Dallas, was like, do you have your credit cards in Dallas? And she's like, oh, I was like, yeah, I found it. She's like, oh, okay, cool. But that was the last she heard of me was when I was in Dallas. So I got to Cuba, and then she didn't hear back from me until I got back to the States. So she was worried as fuck. She was like, girl, I was so scared because I didn't know if you were okay or not this whole time. And it's not like you can post things and shit. Like, you're off the grid, dead ass, you know? So just keep that in mind. I mean, obviously Cuba is not, if you're an American, like, good luck trying to get to Cuba. Because I think Trump has ruined that again for us. So I think Obama fixed it. So like fixed things up where we could, that's how like they opened the travel ban for Cuba. But now with Trump, that's closed yet again. But people that have dual citizenship or other passports like myself can still go. So if you do go to Cuba, just be careful because you will be off the grid. Unless they've changed things, which I doubt it. All right. Moving right along. Number 15, live in the moment. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Try to tap out. Again, I was on social media a lot, but you're going to miss so many amazing moments, you know, if you just are constantly on your phone. Meet people, you know, hostels are the best way, guys. I like when you're traveling by yourself as a solo woman, go stay in hostels. Like I remember like, I was like maybe 2 months in or so when I was doing my 3-month-long backpacking trip. And I was like, okay, I'm sick of these shared dorms. I'm going to go get a hotel by myself. And I just needed to check out a little bit and just be by myself. But for the most part, if you're by yourself traveling, stay in hostels, meet people. You will run into people that are traveling alone as well. And I've met some of the most beautiful people on the planet traveling and backpacking, and have the most amazing memories. I remember this was like a thing with travelers is that you'll typically meet people, have like these deep-rooted, soul-changing conversations with these random people and not even know their name. Like, I remember talking for hours. This would happen a lot in Thailand because Thailand was just that place to just like be on the beach and just have these really deep, soulful conversations with all these random strangers. Like, you'd be in a bonfire and you'd be drinking and just having this great time. And then you'd just be having these such great conversations, just talk about everything. And by the end of it, we'd be like, oh yeah, what was your name? Like it's like a thing. Like you would be like, oh yeah, what's your name again? Oh, what's your name? I didn't get it, you know? And it didn't matter because you're backpacking, you know? What's the chances of you running into this person ever again in your entire life? So names didn't really matter. You know what I mean? You always, you would, get your social media, especially if you guys clicked. You know, if I've met some people that I still talk to this day. And we're still friends. We have our social medias, we're connected through that, and we stay in touch through that. So, but there are those people that you just kind of like fall off, you don't talk to ever again. So, but still you have that moment. So definitely live in the moment. Moving on, 16, document your experience. Yes. Photos are everything. Take lots of photos. As a solo woman traveler, you will find you will be like, well, shit, Kim, like, I remember people ask me this all the time because I would take the most sickening photos, but literally was traveling by myself. So they were like, Kim, how the fuck are you taking your photos? Like, who's taking your photos, So your girl would put on a production. No, I'm just kidding. No, I had a GoPro, and the GoPro had this like a retractable arm, and then like you can extend it out, and then it had like feet on the bottom. So most of the time, like, I would just prop my GoPro or my, out, and then I would just face it towards me, and I would use my phone. Or I remember I got like this is back when GoPro was like, you guys, GoPro before had all these different components where you had to buy each of these different items to fucking put this shit together. Now the GoPros have the screen attached. They have all these things built in. Back in the day, it didn't have all that shit. So you had to buy all these different components to build it, to do all these things. And anyways, super expensive GoPros. But I mean, now they have them all basically integrated in there. So fuck them, whatever. So I would have to buy like a remote. I bought a remote for my GoPro. I remember that. So I can just push the button and it would take the photo. But then I think I took it underwater and was trying to take underwater photos, and it just stopped working. Like the salt water would corroded. So that stopped working. And then I think I had it on my phone where I could push the button on my phone, and then, but now they have GoPros now, they have like even an automated, like a voice control. Like you can say just like capture and then it'll take a photo for you. So you just, yeah, technology. So it's pretty awesome. So yeah. I mean, you know, if I was with people, and sometimes you would meet people, like you'd backpack and you would meet people traveling, and then yeah, you ask them to take a photo for you. Duh. I've asked random people to take photos of me, you know, on the street, whatever. But most of the time I didn't want to bother people. I didn't like that. Plus I know what kind of photo I like to capture. So I would just prop up my stuff and take it myself. So yeah, just little tidbits for you. What else? Let's see. Number 17, support woman-owned businesses. Fuck yeah. I mean, if you can find them while you're traveling, you know, most of the time, I don't know if they really disclose like, oh, we're a woman business, but yeah, support woman-owned businesses. 100%. Totally do that. If you can find a business that is woman-owned while you're traveling, go for it. What else? Walk with confidence. Yes. People can like, like I said, I've had really good experience. I've been very blessed that nothing's happened to me, you know, where I have anyone try to knock on wood, abduct me or like follow me home, things like that. But just be very confident, like walk with a purpose and don't be scared. Like, I feel like if you're going to be going out there and you're scared or you like, this life isn't for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of have to just buck up and fucking just, you know what I mean? Like, go for it. You know, this is not for the faint hearted in that sense. Like, being out there in the world, traveling alone, like, it's a high, 100%. Like, you'll get there and you'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. You're by yourself. You have only you to rely on. And for me, it gave me life. It gave me confidence. It gave me fucking joy. I fucking lived and thrived off it. It fueled me. But if you walk around and you're nervous all the time, people can sense that. People can feel that. So definitely, like, and if that's the case, and you're out there by yourself and you really can't handle being by yourself, well, there are travel groups out there. I think one was called G Adventures, I think, that someone put me on, that like you could just, if you're a solo traveler, a woman by yourself, but you're not quite comfortable with traveling really alone, like backpacking style, you can go and sign up for these groups, these travel groups. And what they will do is like you'll travel with a group, and that becomes the group that you travel with everywhere you go. And so you might end up meeting someone in that group that you really fuck with, and that person will just end up being, you know, you just meet people, and then yeah, you know, which is kind of actually lit, because you technically could be like, yeah, I'll travel with you that day, or if you don't want to, you're like, no, I'm good. You know, because they're not really your friends that you like went there with. Because if you go there with friends, you're kind of obligated to kind of be with them the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know what I mean? For the most part, unless you have a group of girls that you're like, or people that you're like, no, listen, guys, like we're gonna, you know, we like to do these things our own. We'll see y'all tomorrow type shit or whatever. Who knows? But these travel groups are great. Like, I was actually, when I was still traveling solo as a woman, was considering it for Africa, doing like G Adventures. Because I heard Africa is a place I just hear that you just can't go alone. You shouldn't go alone. This is just things I've heard. Like, I haven't gone to Africa yet. It's still on my fucking bucket list. I want to go to Cape Town so fucking bad. South Africa is like so high on the bucket list. But yeah, I was going to do that when I was solo traveling. But now me and my partner will do that together. So, but yeah, I mean, keep that in mind. Okay. Yeah. Moving on. Number 19, stay in a hostel. I went over that already. Please, yes, especially if you're by yourself, stay in hostels. Try to meet people. It's not even hard, you know, like when you're there and like you're just kind of like, it's a traveler's like mindset, you know, like everyone's really super nice. Not everyone, but for the most part, you know what I mean? You're going to meet some other people there and like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? You know, you just make conversations. And then some people are like, hey, we're going to go here. Do you want to come with us? Or if you say, hey, I'm going to go here, would you like to come with me? And they're like, yeah, you know, like, because the chances that you're going to meet other people that are like-minded like yourself is really, you know, like high. Like, I met so many people. And then you just tag along and then, you know, you make friends that way. It's really great. It's really, really great. So definitely stay in hostels. Don't be afraid. Fuck that movie Hostel, because when I was young, and I didn't start backpacking or traveling yet, and there's that movie called Hostel that's like a scary, like, horror movie that basically like is all about this hostel that like abducts people and like kills them or some shit. I might be wrong. I don't like that movie, so I don't try to watch it because it just gave such a negative connotation on like hostels, because it's not like that at all. It's like the hostels are great. They're fucking awesome, you know? And if you're like one of these people like Kim, I'm not about this life. Like, I don't want to stay in a dorm room with other people. I want my own room. There are hostels that have single room hostels. Like, you can have your own room in a hostel. So for example, you know, you still want a place where you still want to mingle and cohabitate with other people, but yet you still want your privacy and go back to your own room. You can do that too. I did that. I mean, listen, I'm older now. So I told myself, like when I did Central America for like a little over a month, and I did like all the like Nicaragua, I did all the Belize, all the countries or whatever. My partner met me in Belize for a little bit, but for the most part, all the other countries I did alone. And your girl is just not about that hostel dorm life. So everywhere I would go, I stayed at hostels, but I would get a single room by myself because, yeah, don't play that shit anymore. So there's that option. So totally up to you. Okay. It does save you money though if you do a co-ed room, or if you do a room with other people. It is a lot cheaper that way, which back in the day when I was trying to, you know, make my money last longer backpacking, that was a smarter way to go about things. So yeah, what else is next? Number 20, wear a wedding ring. All right, girls, I didn't do this. Yeah. I mean, if you feel like, again, if you feel like it's something you need to do, make you feel comfortable, go for it. I never did that. You know, like I remember having conversations with guys and they'd be like, oh, you got a boyfriend? You know, and I'd be like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. Like, I would just tell them that, you know, but the wedding ring thing, I never did. I do that now in the States. I'll sometimes do that now. Like, I'll be like, oh, let me just wear this real quick to like have these niggas leave me alone. So whatever. But yeah, that's a tip that's on Travelnoire. If you want to do that, yeah, if that makes you comfortable, do it. Go for it. Number 21, start off local. Yeah, I mean, if you're by yourself, you're going to want to stay in a touristy area where there's lots of people, right? Try not to stay places where it's like off the beaten path, like where it's just like by yourself. Especially if you're a novice solo traveler, definitely try to stay where it's like super touristy at first, just so you can get the hang of things or whatever. If you're like an expert and you're like, I don't need to do all that shit, I can go in the middle of nowhere and be fine, then hey, more power to you. But if you're trying to be a solo traveler and trying this out and you're just feeling, you'll feel more comfortable knowing that there's like lots of people that you can at least interact with, right? And I say this now, okay, I did have a scenario where I went to Indonesia, right? I went to Bali, but then there was this part of Indonesia that I wanted to go to that had this really unique, beautiful, like volcanic, there was this, like a volcanic lake that was like green and like acidic. It was so cool. And they had this volcano and then like, it was so cool. Right. I've seen it I saw it on Instagram. I was like, I need to go to these places. Right. So the places it was in Indonesia. It was called Bandung, Indonesia. Your girl went there from Jakarta. So Jakarta is like the main city in Indonesia. It was like 7 hours from Jakarta. And I don't know if you guys have been in Indonesia and parts of Asia. The traffic is fucking madness. Like, wild. Like, you will be in traffic for hours, okay? And I remember hiring this guy, and he drove me 7 hours straight to go to Bandung. And when I tell you, when I got to that city, Bandung, Indonesia, no one fucking spoke English. Nobody. Like, it was not a touristy town. It wasn't a tourist area. Like, it was just a local area, you know? Like, even the hotel. I stayed at a hotel, not a hostel. I don't even think there was hostels, to be honest with you, because I'm telling you, people didn't speak English there. And I went to the hotel, and I was, you know, usually at hotels, you expect, you know, someone speaks English there, right? No one spoke English. I was like, I remember posting on my Snapchat, it would be like, you guys, I'm in Bandung, Indonesia, and I don't know if I am here by myself and I have no idea, like, no one speaks English here. What the fuck will I do? So I literally, like, you know what? And it's funny because even in that scenario, I ended up still being okay. Because, like, I'm telling you, God, the universe, like, guides me through all this shit. Like, I have an angel on my shoulder or something. Because I remember going to, like, they had Ubers there too. Uber did work there. But I remember the dude didn't speak, like my Uber didn't speak English. Like, so I remember like I wanted to go to this like a market, right? Like a very popular market where you can buy things. And I was like, I'm going to try to go to this market. So I got an Uber and I told him, I put it in and I was like, I want to go here. Like I would kept saying the name of the place, you know? And I would just get in the Uber and I was following like where I was going on the Uber to make sure I was going there. Because again, I'm just trusting this nigga, like this random Indonesian man to take me where I need to go. He doesn't speak English. I mean, this man could have taken me anywhere, right? Your girl was freaked out. I was like watching on my like phone the whole time, making sure I would get there. He took me there, no problem. So I was like, okay, you know? And I remember my one thing that I needed to do was like, I want to make sure I make it back to where I need to go, like Jakarta. So I want to buy a train ticket back because the driving was ridiculous. The train was like, I think like a couple hours or 3 hours. It was much better. And it's like a straight shot, you know, you're on a train, so you're better. And I remember at the train station, I ended up meeting this man that spoke English on a whim. And I was like, thank you so much. Like he helped me purchase the ticket. And I'm telling you, like this man that he was like, yeah, you're lucky because this place isn't really for tourists. I was like, I know, I didn't realize, you know? And then I got even more lucky because like on the way back to my hotel, the Uber driver that I ended up getting was a man that used to work on cruises and spoke English. Super nice man. And I actually ended up hiring him to take me to all the places I wanted to go. So instead of him Ubering, I just paid him like the fee of like what, you know, he would make in an Uber a day, which was really nothing. It was really like super cheap. It was probably like $30 or something like that. Super cheap, right? American dollars. And yeah, he ended up like driving me everywhere and he spoke English great. So yeah, I mean, I lucked out, guys. But again, you know, start off local because you don't want to be like me risking it all. And, you know, I mean, whatever. I mean, it makes for good adventures and things like that, but also really kind of scary too when you think about it. So yeah, good tidbit on that. Number 22, don't post in real time. Oh, I mean, I did all the time because I mean, I think the article was saying like, ooh, make sure that you post somewhere after the fact that you're there instead of like doing it when you're there. And then I did see recently, there was an article that said like, somebody was like, there was this person that made a bad review at a Thai resort. And they did the review when they were still at the resort or something, or in Thailand. And now they're facing like jail time because they were bad mouthing that place or something. It's wild. I have to find that article or something and read it verbatim what it is. But it was just one of those things where like, they were saying like, make sure if you do want to talk shit about a place, make sure you're not in that country anymore because you could get fucked over. And I was like, yo, yeah, I guess, yeah, maybe don't post in real time, especially if you want to be negative. I mean, Thailand don't play that shit, you guys. Like, be respectful. We're not in America. If you're traveling, you're not in America. Like, you know what I mean? Like those, like, come on, don't be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, be respectful. Know the culture you're in. You know, it's like, don't be ballsy. It's like, this story pisses me off to this day. My one good friend, Senya, she went to Thailand with this like girl we knew and she fucking like, she tried to like bargain or haggle prices with this one thing they were about to do or whatever. And I remember that like the Thai person like didn't bargain with them or didn't agree with her to like lower the price. And the bitch got like mad and was like, this is horrible. This is horrible customer service. Like I'm appalled. And then like my friend was like, bitch, what? And mind you, they were arguing, and this Thai woman was like, whatever, it was like 150 baht or some I don't know, like whatever. It was equivalent of like $15. Like, and this girl at that time had a great job, got paid very well. And that pissed me the fuck off. Cause it's like, are you fucking serious, bitch? This Thai person right here, their livelihood, you know what I'm saying? Like matters like completely with the money that you're about to give them. Like, what is $15, $20 to you, bitch? What is it to you? Give them the fucking money. You know what I mean? I mean, this bitch went the fuck off. She was like, I'm gonna write a bad review about this place. Oh my God, horrible customer service. I'm like, bitch, you're not in America. I remember my friend told me that story and I was like, this fucking bitch. And plus, of course, it's Thailand. I'm Thai. I was like pressed boots. I was like, this bitch, fuck. And she like called herself out. She like told herself to be this like huge traveler. She's like, I'm a traveler. Like I travel the world. Oh my God. But then yet, you're fucking arguing over with the local Thai person for $15 fucking dollars, bitch. Fuck out of here, yo. Like, fuck out of here. Anyways, sorry. That was just a little ranting story. You could tell that still bothers me. Let's see, what else? We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Let's see, 23. Number 23, talk to locals. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, yes. I remember when I was in Nicaragua, when I did Central America, and me and this one guy, he was the night watchman for the hotel I was staying at. And I remember I was like the only fucking person staying at the hotel, and he only spoke Spanish. And I speak some Spanish, but I'm not fluent by any means, you know what I mean? But me and him had like, we sat there and we talked, we had a drink and we talked for hours, and he would tell me about his family and like how much he made and how much, what, you know, like he basically like told me, like, he was real with me, you know, he was like, yeah, like he was telling me how, you know, in poverty stricken they were living, and just real, you know, like how he does this job, but then during the day he does another job, and he's trying to get money so he can move to Panama, because I guess living in Panama, like you make more money there. And it was just so cool. Like I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm sitting here like in Nicaragua talking to this dude. And mind you, like it was like the most broken ass Spanish I could whip up, but we were able to communicate. It was great. It was so funny. He spoke a little English. I spoke a little Spanish. It was so cute. It was really cute. So yeah, talk to the locals, guys. You'll have some really beautiful moments with the locals. Like he was so cool. He was a really cool guy. So yeah. What is it? Number 24, stay connected. Yes. Yeah. I mean, just keep in contact with your people. WhatsApp is great, guys. If you're a traveler and you're about to travel the world, whatever, get WhatsApp on your phone. It's a great way to communicate, call. It's all through Wi-Fi or your data, and it's a great way. I use WhatsApp every single day. It's what I use to communicate with all my international friends. You can leave voice messages with people. You can send videos and photos, and you don't get that weird distortion, like, you know, pixelated shit that photos do. WhatsApp is great. So if you use that, if you need like an app to communicate with people internationally, don't rely on like strictly on like Instagram and Facebook. Like use WhatsApp. It's great. Love it. Even though Facebook, I think, bought out WhatsApp. So whatever. It's the same shit now. And number 25, splurge on transportation. Yes. So, I mean, definitely, guys, like that one time that I was trying to take the train and then got stuck and then like realized like the Uber worked, you know, I got home, like it was safer, you know what I'm saying? So if you need to do what you got to do and splurge a little more with a safe, you know, like say for example, like if you're trying to go to a different country and the plane ride is $100 more than the bus ride, but yet you get there faster and safer than the bus. Sometimes the bus could be kind of like shady boots, you know? So a little dodgy. So like be safe. You know what I'm saying? If you got to pay a little bit more money to take a safe plane ride, do it. So that's, you know, whatever. Yeah. That's it, guys. That's the whole article. That's the whole 25 tips for solo travelers. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, I have many more travel stories, whatever, in me. But again, I'll have more people that I can talk to with, and that'll inspire me for different things. But this was a fun article that I thought that I could just read back and relate to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed that. So before we move on, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
And we'll be right back after these detailed messages.
Brought to you by the Rick Dog Network.
All right, guys, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's time for our meditate, masturbate, and medicate segment. So this week I wanted to talk about masturbate. I just wanted to talk about my amazing wand. I have a shock rub. It is a great wand. It is basically a stone wand. Mine is made from aventurine. It's a green, almost like jade-like stone. It relates to the earth chakra, the grounding chakra, which that's like my chakra. Muladhara, that's the one that grounds. I feel so like, I don't know. It resonates with me very much. Okay. So, but they have rose quartz ones, amethyst, all sorts of different chakras. I mean, all different wands. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm basically talking about a crystal dildo. Okay. That is what I'm talking about, guys. It is a crystal dildo. It is like the shape of a long tube thingy, whatever. Anyways, I'll, Google it, you guys. Google crystal wands, okay? Shock Rub is a great brand, and they have a nice line of like different like wands you can buy from them. But yeah, it's great because it's a way like it's basically like it's non-porous, so like it's stone, it's crystal, it's stone. So like when you're penetrating yourself and fucking yourself with it, and you're, you know, it's not gonna leave anything inside you that's like damaging, that's harmful for your pussy. Honestly, it actually, like, I've had the best orgasms of my life with my wand as opposed to like dildos and things. Also, be careful where you're buying what your dildos are made of, guys. Like if it's plastic and it's cheap from like China or whatever, think about it. Most women are using lubes or their own juices or whatever, and that's breaking down the plastic and then the silicone or whatever over time. And that's going to be inside your kitty cat, like your cookie, like your most sacred place, your vagina, your yoni. And you want all that stuff to be breaking down inside you or be made from like BPA and like all this gross plastic that's just going to kill you and harm you. And ew, like get a wand, get a crystal wand, get one that resonates with you. You go online and you'll read on like what specifically like you're looking for with your wand or will help resonate with you. Like I'm telling you, like the rose quartz one is super popular. That's like the heart chakra. That's like, you know, a light pink one. That one's super popular, and that usually a lot of women go for that one. But the aventurine, which is like a green stone, I'm telling you, that one, that's my boy. That's my bitch. The best fucking orgasms ever. So before Tantra, I could never even have, it was very difficult for me to have orgasms through, through penetration. I always needed clitoral stimulation. But I trained my body with Tantra that helped me to have orgasms where I could actually have penetration with it as well. So, it was a whole journey. Honestly, I have to have my goal is to have a sex therapist on here and just talk to you guys about this because this is such good, juicy stuff. And like, again, I'm not a therapist, but this is what's helped me. And, I love crystal wands. I feel like fuck dildos, fuck those like rubber fake looking cock things. Fuck them. Okay. I love crystal wands so much. They really kind of like, I don't know. It's like this feeling that you have like when you're having orgasm. It's like a cleaner, more authentic orgasm, so to speak, as opposed to like this. Mind you, I still am watching porn while I do this. So who the fuck am I talking about? I'm over here like, oh, chakras, da-da-da. But then I'm watching this girl get fucked with this big dick guy. So whatever. Balance, duality is a thing. Shout out to Around the Way Curls podcast. That's their slogan. Anyways, so I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. And if you guys do have questions, again, of course, always reach out to me on the socials about that, and we can have conversations. Or if you guys want tips or like, hey, where'd you get this or whatever? What does it look? Whatever. If you have questions, reach out to me. I'm all ears. It is time for the quote of the day, guys. Quote of the day. And of course, this quote is all based off of what our main subject was with solo travel. So I thought this was really beautiful. Love this quote. And it goes like this. Traveling, it leaves you speechless, then turns you into a storyteller. And that is by, it's by IBN space BATTUTA. BATTUTA. Yo, these names, I don't know where the fuck I'm finding these quotes, guys. I don't know fucking what. I was like, what? Traveling, it leaves you speechless, then turns you into a storyteller. Because your girl's got stories. And I know my other travelers out there, my other solo lady travelers have stories as well. Can't wait to hear your stories. You guys, that is it. That was another episode of Kimbology, the solo travel girl edition. I hope you really enjoyed it. As always, please reach out to me. You can always please rate, subscribe, comment, and share this podcast if you think that it really will resonate with any of your friends or family, or if you want them, if you have friends or family that are trying to travel by themselves and want some good tips, please send this over to them. It always helps me with listeners. Your girl's trying to expand her audience. You can leave love donations for me on Red Circle. There's a link in the show notes if you want to donate to your girl. Your girl needs money. Your girl's broke as fuck. The government sucks. Trump sucks. Yeah, everything sucks. So yeah, sorry. Anyways, whatever. You can do that if you want. Love donations are always accepted. What else? Find me on Instagram, Kimbology Podcast. TikTok, Kimbology, Snapchat, Kimbology. I have YouTube, Kimbology Podcast. What else? You can email me at kimbologypodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, let's open up the conversation. Like I said, I did have people reaching out to me about doing this, about questions with solo traveling. So I hope that helps. And shout out to all you traveling bitches out there by yourself. Shout out to y'all. Cause you know what? We are badasses, okay? We have been fucking out here getting on planes and shit by ourselves, seeing the world. Come on. We are fucking amazing. We are awesome. And you know what? If you haven't done it yet and you want to do it, you can fucking do it. Just believe in yourself. You can fucking do it. And when I tell you, if you've been looking for like a spirit, if you've been trying to find yourself and you don't feel whole, or if you feel like, man, I don't know who I am. I don't know what my self-identification is. Like, I need to find out who me is. Go on a fucking trip by yourself. I mean, when I tell you, you will find all those answers that you were looking for. Because I sure as fuck did. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I love you guys so much. And I hope you guys all do well out there. Please go vote. Please, please, please vote. Please, if you haven't registered to vote, please vote. I don't care if you're even voting for this motherfucking Cheeto, even though I don't know the fuck why you would do that. But just please, your vote matters. Your vote counts. Please vote for the election. All right, enough of me yelling at y'all like I'm your mama. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye. Kimbo out.
Brought to you by the Rick Dog Network. Well, shoot the damn dog.